This is a collective coffee. We're gonna talk about what's going on right now. I haven't done these. I don't know. I should be doing more of these. Okay. Right now there are over 40 countries and like 50 boats headed to Palestine. And don't worry, I'm gonna talk about the U.S. first or second, but I want to talk about Palestine. Give it what it needs, deserves. The Freedom Flotilla. I don't know what this word means. We should look it up together. I just dried my hair and my bangs are annoying, so let me just put them in there. Folita. Is this a different language, or what is this word? I don't think I spelled it right. Well, you know what? Benjamin Netanyahu just made a deal with Google, so maybe they just took it out of here. Means fully. No, it's not. Anyway, I don't know. It's like a group of ships, right? It's a group of people and a group of ships. There have been a few attempts. I saw online that a couple were successful, but I don't know if that's true. But anyway, they are taking supplies to Gaza to break the siege that Israel has on Palestine. And they were bombed tonight. The main ship involved in this group of ships were bombed. And I just saw that proof footage from another boat showing the strike that came from the sky. Flotilla. Oh, that's the word. That's what I have. Folita is not the word. So the two other times that I recently have been attempted, Israel has apprehended the passengers once they get within like a few hundred miles of Gaza, which is still international waters technically. So their jurisdiction to do so is actually another war crime. And so this group of boats organized and is much larger. Greta Thunberg is on this as she was on like one of the first ones that went as well that was apprehended, and Chris Smalls, the organizer that unionized Amazon in New York, was on the second one, and now Greg Stoker, among other people. These are just people that I'm familiar with because I follow their work as a human rights organizer. Greg Stoker is a vet, anti-war vet, and he's been really leading the charge. He's been sharing a lot the past 2 years about how Israel is moving in Gaza and how that relates to America soldiers and the ways that they were in Iraq and Afghanistan and things like that. He has a podcast and a YouTube channel called Colonial Outcasts, and it's good. So I wanted you to be aware that that's happening. The people in Gaza are drawing messages in the sand, like sculpting like the sand to welcome them. In the communication between the fleet of ships and the people in Gaza is beautiful, as it has been for all of the attempts. Gaza is still very aware of what is going on around the world, and the ways that people are trying to support them because of the internet. It's a fascinating time to be alive and witnessing this, not in a good way, but it's just, I mean, if I were going through that, I wouldn't want to be on the internet. I would need to be focused. I mean, maybe as a distraction, maybe as to get word out, but continuing to watch the world turn while you're experiencing something like that must be I've had my own personal experience that I was in jail when my graduating class graduated from college, which to the scale of what I'm talking to, it's nothing. But I'm just trying to share that in case you have something that you can maybe resonate with that feeling. You experiencing a genocide while you can like actively communicate with the world, and the world continues just moving forward. I mean, wow, insane. And in regards to the United States, the things I want to talk about, also there's a big action happening in Indonesia. There's like a revolution in Nepal. I don't think those are the same place. I don't know. I'm not well versed in Asia at all. Nepal and Indonesia. Is Nepal in Indonesia? Nepal is in India. And Indonesia. Let's just see. Is there a map? Oh. Nepal, Indonesia likely refers to the travel between the two countries as they are separate nations, with Nepal being Himalayan nation and Indonesia being an archipelago, I'm not saying that correctly, in Southeast Asia. So they are very similar locations in regards to the world, but they are different places. Ah, here we are. The map. It's okay to not know everything. The internet is kind of free. Oh! Oh, I thought the green was both of them. Oh, no. Orange up here. I'm sorry. So orange is Nepal. In Indonesia are the islands. So I saw actions in the people rising and police presence in both of those locations. I don't have the backstory behind that. I know one of them, I believe it was Indonesia, because they popped off, like last week? Revolutionary style. Something about wages, money, making the rich richer and the poor poorer, and that was that. One of them has a lot to do with, I don't know, I'm not going to pretend like I know everything. So check that out if you want to know more. Like I said, I saw shit popping off in both of those places. And as far as the United States is concerned, the reality of the situation is that it's here. It's here, and we're all being affected. And I think there's a lot of realistic preparation that can come across as fear-mongering, especially to people who would like to stay ignorant and don't believe that they are going to be impacted because of a certain amount of privilege or space within a hierarchy. If you are not in the top two rungs of the hierarchy, where is my hierarchy poster? I gotta redraw it. So the police are like the class traders. Let me draw this. I had a really nice big poster. It's over here somewhere. Fell behind something. So you have like police and celebs, musicians, artistry, people who appear to be wealthy, but really they're controlled by the elite. And then you have the police. Doesn't matter what jurisdiction, if you're talking about ICE, the county sheriffs, the local police, the federal police, the CIA, FBI, it doesn't matter. They all serve the elite. Oh, I forgot to finish. And the police are like this middle rung that keep everyone else in check, right? I don't think celebs should be, well, yeah. Celebrities have the ability to be protected by police, but celebrities are only celebrities because of producers and people in the background who use celebrities to contain the masses, get them excited and entertain them, right? The circus, the bread and circus, which is a reference to Rome. Is it Rome or France? I don't know. It's a reference to Europe somewhere. The bread and circuses, talking about keep them fed and entertain them, and they won't know what we're doing. okay? So, I mean, this is the same system as it always has been, right? So, we have class, race, sexuality, nationality, and then you have different professions that also police each other, right? So, for instance, doctors are doctors, lawyers, teachers. So this hierarchy is shifting in real time, right? So these are the people down here. This is us. It doesn't matter how much money you have. I mean, class is definitely one of these things. Oh, that was the first thing I wrote. Profesh, religion, right? So the people at the top are constantly using these divisive tactics down here amongst us so that we keep each other, you know, we fight amongst each other, the divisive tactics, right? Like the propaganda, right? About, I mean, look at how Zionists treat Palestinians when it's not even their land. Like, those people are fucking insane because they fell for the propaganda. So this money supports this money. This money would be like tech, right? Like Elon Musk would be down here. Trump would be down here. There's people behind Trump. Trump, remember, he's bankrupt, okay? He's a puppet. So he's higher than a celebrity because he's in this position of president. But yeah, even like all the Congress people and shit, they're not even up here, right? They're like down here. Like the people who are filling all of those seats that we vote in, they're way down here. They have police protection, but only if they continue to serve these means. If you go against these, even if you're a celebrity or police, if you go against, you know, if you're a whistleblower or whatever, if you go against this money. So this is like, these are like, there's what, like 10 to 30 billionaires on the fucking planet. So that's these people. And a lot of them you don't know about, right? So it's, you know, everybody knows about the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers and the, you know, the Wallmans, the people who own Walmart. What is their name? Walton. You know, there's the Mars Candy people, those people who we just found out own all the water in California and shit. It's in Macklemore's song. Anyway, there's a lot of rich people who don't have fame, and those are the people who run the show, right? So anyway, all of that to say is, what we're experiencing now is these higher rungs are sounding the alarm, right? Because they're now impacted the way that all of these folks have been, okay? Their privileges are seeping away, and they're sounding the alarm. This is what it's taken for Americans to wake up, is for them to be personally impacted by these policies, right? So like the farmers in Arkansas who are like, hey, it's really bad, and you look at the voting numbers in Arkansas and you're like, okay, you did that to yourself, right? So that's what's happening here. But we need to think about that, because if the farmers are sounding the alarm, then it means that there's going to be a lack in food, and that's what a lot of people are talking about. So all of that to say is, what I was going to begin to say is that there is a lot of fear mongering, but it's more of a realistic preparation that people are finally starting to be like, oh shit, I'm down here. I am down here. Okay? So with that, prep. I have a whole series called Mommy Preps. I have all my prep shit here. In case of a natural disaster or something else, at this point in time, you know, there was a saying from the 60s that this administration has really made sure that they could do, and that saying was, they can't arrest us all. But by the looks of it, and the money that they're backing into these camps, into private prisons, it looks like that's their plan, right? Shipping off to other countries into their prisons. It feels like the plan is actually, yes, to arrest us all. If we do not fall in line and support, you know, if we don't become enslaved, you know. So a lot of these things, the bread and circuses that I was referring to, I love this song, Pentatonics. Yeah, we gotta look up Flowita. Flowita? God damn it. This is the cover of Billie Eilish. Shit was recorded, like 5 years ago? I'm new here. Oh yeah, I was really balls deep into some shit that time. flotilla. A fleet of ships or boats. Oh, that was easy. Alright. Anyway, we all learned something new. Or maybe you already knew, and I'm learning, which is fun. So think about this. Let me hold it a little closer. I'm sorry. So remember, like, the things that keep us divided: class, race, religion, sexuality. And then we have, like, the doctors and the teachers. And, I mean, you understand the way of, like, the hierarchy, right? Like, lawyers get paid a lot, and teachers don't, right? So, like, teachers and lawyers would probably not be in the same rung, but, you know. And then all of them are to report back on the people that they have control over, right? So all of these people, at the higher up you get, the larger group of population you are responsible for. Not responsible, but you know, you can impact, especially if you're a cop, right? So again, depending on your jurisdiction, if you're a city cop or a local cop or a sheriff, or you work at a jail or a prison, or, you know, you have a group that you are responsible for, but you also have the power to move around, to join other things, right? To have more power in more places, because you are your own rung. Law enforcement's its own rung. So, like, lawyers are below police, because lawyers have to go to the court to, you know, prove innocence or whatnot, right? The police are the ones who get to make that distinction of whether or not that person has to go to court. So I hope that makes sense. That's the way that they've kept it. So people up here are starting to realize how, oh, shit. And that's the point. So prep, I would say invest in, I mean, I don't know. I don't really have a lot of hope. I run my mouth. I know I'm on list. I believe it will be an honor to be, I mean, I'm with the martyrs at a global scale. And, you know, Rockefeller, one of those R's, they're Rothschild or Rockefeller, I'm pretty sure it was Rothschild, actually, said that this year in 2025, he said, like, billions of people around the world would die. So we're 9 months in now. So, I mean, when these motherfuckers up here tell you something, believe them, right? Like, a lot of people, like, the Arkansas farmers, they're like, oh, let's vote for this guy because he's a billionaire and he's gonna do stuff for us. The fuck he is. The man's a fucking psycho. So, you know, we all make mistakes in life. Voting in a dictator. I mean, I don't even think Trump is the one in charge, like I already said. My personal opinion on Trump is that he is exactly what these crazy evangelical psychos wanted. He is egotistical, he's easy to persuade, he doesn't really give a fuck about anything as long as he's getting paid and has power. I mean, that's the same as all of these men. I mean, they're all men who want power in control of the entire fucking world. That's where we are. But there's a lot of people above them, behind them, and below them. And I think that's where people, you know, there's so much conversation about Trump this, Trump that, Trump this, Trump that, but Trump has very little power, considering what we're experiencing. And remember, if there is another assassination attempt on him, or if someone, you know, if he dies, everything that has been signed up until this point, the past 9 months, will stand. And that's what these people behind him needed in order to create this new system. I mean, they're trying to rewrite the Constitution. They're trying to enslave all of us. They're trying to, I mean, look at the tariff stuff. They're trying to make the means of production in America have a global status again. I mean, the United States has lost its status. It's lost its reputation at a global scale. And so these motherfuckers think that the only way that they can get that back is complete power and control of the population, to serve them, to serve their interests and make it happen. And at this point in time, we're seeing this we're seeing a global trafficking ring. We're seeing people being arrested and shipped to other countries against their will. Hush, hush. I mean, This is fucking insane. And again, a lot of people either aren't paying attention or don't think that it matters because they're not impacted. But I think in this moment right now, people are realizing that, oh shit, I'm gonna be impacted by this, right? And also, let's talk about Chicago. I mean, when the federal government says that they are going to push everything back on the states, and then they decide to go in at a federal military level against those municipalities or states that are not doing things the way that they desire, like LA was declared a sanctuary state, which means immigrants are safe here. Chicago as well, and now we are watching those two cities be completely militarized. There's a lot of speculation about what's happening in Washington, D.C. There's the human trafficking ring talking about the ice cream trucks in Virginia. And I think the one thing that RFK said when he made that speech about autism, and you know, there's families in Florida that are being impacted by Florida's crazy shit. I don't, but these autism camps, they're trying to like heal autistic people or people with mental illness. That is the new target. So I think that's the thing that people are realizing, is that this is a moving target. This isn't staying steady, right? There's a new target. There's a new target. There's a new target. It's like a Venn diagram too, right? Like, so perhaps you have black or brown skin, but you are a well, not a police. Let's put you at like a lawyer level, and maybe you are a white gay teacher. Okay, so two different people being impacted differently. Maybe one person is a brown Muslim, and they what was I gonna say? And they suffer from mental illness. So like the target is moving, right? And I think mental illness is a very fascinating one, and this is why I studied what I did in my master's program, is because it isn't it's a non-prejudice thing. It's an internal disorder, a mental illness, and I talked about that in my thesis. It's very dangerous to have that umbrella, and just the development of the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders has mapped it out against social movements, right? So as social movements have been more progressive, more inclusive, more demanding, the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, which was put together by a bunch of white men, started in the Reconstruction period here in the United States, which is the time directly after the Emancipation Proclamation, when the people who were enslaved were freed, okay? But really, that just initiated the 13th Amendment, which says that, you know, you're free, or nobody can be enslaved unless they've committed a crime. So now what we're seeing is housing prices going crazy up, or just I've seen a lot of people talking about just the process of getting housing, the application fees, all of that stuff, right? Or just the mortgages. People can't afford this shit right now. It's crazy. So you have homelessness being criminalized at a federal level while housing is seemingly unattainable. Okay, so you have these things together. So they're creating new laws to encapsulate all of us, right? And these are the people enforcing, okay, doing the rounding up, the slave catching, which is exactly how the police were created in this country, as people who would go after escaped people who were enslaved, okay? And yeah. And then you have these celebrities distracting you, keeping you completely complacent and apathetic to anything going on except them, right? Continuing to sell you this manifest destiny. And I think that's the thing, and that's why I talk about spirituality all the time, is because this is when people are going to be starting to come into consciousness, when they finally are impacted by these policies. So I know I haven't been here doing these collective coffees because nobody's been watching them, but it's really important for me to put it here, so my bad. That's what's going on. I hope this makes sense. I'm going to let you go. Have a good one.